You're Near the Wild with Matt Becker and John Norris, recorded in Anchorage, Alaska.
All right. Here we are. It is Near the Wild, another week. I am John Norris here in Anchorage, Alaska.
I'm Matt Becker in Anchorage, Alaska.
And I'm Greg Chaille in Dallas, Texas this week.
Ooh, the death place of JFK. I think they have other things too, but that's all I know about Dallas.
Wow, that and, oil.
A little bit. And traffic.
Oh, what did I just see? 1 in 5 people in Florida are now, were born in a different country.
I don't know how we're going to
And Dallas, do you know Dallas? Was it Houston?
What does that have to do with Dallas?
No, because Houston is 70% Hispanic.
Okay. You're getting closer. I'm in Dallas.
I know. And then Dallas, again, I don't know anything about Dallas.
Okay.
But a lot of Mexican food.
But you were just in L.A.
Yeah. Well, that was what was funny last week when I was in L.A. I go, oh, this will be great. We'll do it in L.A. Right when I was saying, sure, this is great. She goes, you're not really going to do the podcast during my vacation for my birthday, are you? I go, of course not. As I'm slowly typing, okay, we can't do this. Abort. No, are you kidding me? Because we were leaving at 10 in the morning to go shopping and run around. And she goes, well, where are you going to do this at? And I go, well, we're going to do it in Anchorage, apparently.
I like a coffee bean.
Certainly not here, honey.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what she was thinking. But
So, Becker, you were in L.A.
Yeah.
for like a week, right?
Yeah.
And it
was a blast.
You've done that last couple of years, I know for sure. But what's the goal? And you got any highlights, lowlights?
Yeah, no, it was a blast. This year was actually a lot of fun. And what we do is just go down there and basically, re-explore the city. And we go shopping and we buy weird stuff that you can't get in Anchorage, like everything.
But, I mean, just to backtrack a little bit, you just got back from 3 months in Costa Rica.
Yeah, there's an awkwardness to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we booked it actually. Here's the deal. So we found this cool house in the Hollywood Hills that's like $200 a night. It's got a hot tub right over the hills. And we're like, okay. So we get it last year. And it was cheaper than any hotel you could find in town. And so you have your own house with everything. And
yeah, I mean, that's comparable to like a suite, like down in Hollywood somewhere.
yeah. And
Is this on like Airbnb or this Craigslist?
It was through B&B first, and then I go directly to their site now, which saves you no money, but it gets rid of the hanger-ons.
Yeah.
Sure. Cut out the middleman.
I don't know who owns the house, but it's a cool little house, and the fact that it's as cheap as it is, there's a lot of stairs. You got to walk up like almost like 2 swinging sets in front of the house of cobblestone stairs. So there is a learning curve.
Well, that cuts out, half of Americans. They're not going to
We have a lot of friends that we think would get hurt very bad in this house.
Or might get lost going up the hill.
And we all know who she is.
Hey, didn't something happen last year when you were there? It's the same house, right?
Yeah, that's the one that the kid from American Pie had a one-night stand, and the chick barricaded herself in his house and started breaking up his stuff. And so they had a 10-hour standoff the last night we were supposed to be there. While $200 seems reasonable, to have they had 2 SWAT teams, fire trucks, everything blocking off because the chick wouldn't come out. And she pulled a knife on him in his kitchen when she said, yeah, it was fun, but you got to go. And she didn't leave. And so she barricaded herself in. And so they told us, they go, well, we don't have to tell you. We've already been here like 6 hours. And the cop actually told us, go have a beer and come back. And we're like, did you really just tell us to go have a beer and come back?
Wait, but you could not get up to your house, right?
No, it was literally next to our house. So anytime they tell you, oh, we're by celebrities, they are, but they're B celebrities.
But did you get to see the American Pie guy? Which one?
Oh, no, he was long since hiding, I'm sure. He was at his manager's office hiding under the desk.
I'm going to let my PR people take care of this breakup.
You can't, if you can't take on a kind of portly looking Russian chick, I don't know how you're going to handle the SWAT team.
It's tough business.
He should have just went ahead and called the cab. He relied on Uber, and it took too long. So then she got the wrong message.
Yeah, that's when you go, let's just go have breakfast. Come on. Get out of the house. Come on.
You go first. I'll follow you.
But it is a cool neighborhood. We're 20 minutes from everything. It's a geological oddity.
Did you go anywhere? Where's one of the places that you plan to go or that you discovered in L.A.?
Well, like we went to IKEA, it's 20 minutes away. We went to the zoo, 20 minutes. We went to Melrose, 20 minutes. We went to La Brea, to the little art store there, 20 minutes. Everything is 20 minutes away.
Back in the day, you lived in Los Angeles for a little while.
Right off Sunset.
So what's it like now? Because I mean, I grew up in Southern California, and we would go to LA and stuff like that. But even when I go now, it's like one day and I'm done.
Yeah, and that's kind of the way I am. I have enough jaded memories of it that I went, you know what the real difference is? It's a little dirtier.
Well, the earth is.
It is. And no, the people. Yeah, the people. There's cups and stuff on them instead of near them. But that part, and then the other thing was, I swear to God, it looked like it doubled in traffic.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we would go out 10 in the morning and 405, 101, I know, and everybody goes, oh, it's always been bad. It was literally stopped everywhere.
Well, I've heard that it's just, there used to be times in the morning during the commute and the afternoon commute, and now it doesn't matter. You can't time it like you used to, especially the 405.
No, and that was the thing. It's like Costa Rica Kevin is in Whittier, and he goes, well, I'll come pick you guys up. You can see my house, and we'll drive back. I go, are you kidding me?
Yeah, from Whittier?
I go, we fly out on Thursday morning, so unless you're picking it up Tuesday, I don't know when you think you're going to be able to pull that off. The triple-double.
John, Costa Rica Kevin is a friend from the Panamint days, way back. Was it Panamint, or was it Costa Rica where we...
Costa Rica, hence the term Costa Rica Kevin.
Okay, I didn't know if the moniker came later or what. But
I
That
figured
was
he
what
was from that way.
Doug stayed at the Pasta Tempo in Tamarindo and then met him there, and then they left, and then Doug came back, and Costa Rica Kevin came back then too, the same time. They both went on double vacations.
he showed up to
The wedding?
Michelle and Durant's wedding, too.
It was hysterical.
It's odd to see someone who crashes a party or crashes a wedding in a foreign country, especially when the wedding's on a boat. He still got on.
Wow.
It's good.
To be honest, he was already coming. He was just going to come down there, and it just happened to be during the wedding. So
Everyone's getting on the van. He's like, oh, I've got nothing to do.
I mean, if you're standing around a bunch of people going to a wedding, I guess you're going to a wedding.
Yeah, either you're going to go or you're going to sit at the bar by yourself.
Yeah.
Classic.
And so me and Stephanie are going to LA in like 3 weeks. And so we're going to try to recreate Matt and Becky's vacation.
Step for step?
Yeah, just a shot-for-shot remake.
Yeah.
The other thing was the rental car. It started out at 197 for 4 days or whatever. And, but as long as you keep checking, like with Dollar, they kept lowering it. Every week they go, new special. And I ended up getting it for 103 for 4 days from 197. That's with insurance, everything. And always do the rapid, whatever it is, the express.
Rapid return?
The rapid pickup.
The pickup.
I did the classic thing. We pull in to get the car, right? We get it in mid-afternoon, walk in, and our name's on the board for express. And I went, great. And there's a herd of 200 people waiting in line to get the thing. I walk in and go, the express guy at the desk, I go, hey, and he looks at my ID, he goes, is this you? And I go, yeah. And he goes, well, your car's in number 7. Is it not there? I go, yeah. And he goes, well, go. And that's all you got to do. And then when you drop it off, they go, okay, have a good one. See ya.
Hey, dummy, what do you want to do? Wait in line?
No,
Wait, I'm going to need you to teach me how to rent a car because I've never done it. And I have
it
to rent
is
a car this time.
unbelievable, dude. I mean, I could have waited like every other schlub. I go, why wouldn't you sign? All you do is pre-approve everything, make sure they have the same credit card.
But it's got to feel weird that like no one's stopping me. I'm getting in this car now. No one has said I haven't shown any ID.
Well, you can't get out of the gate.
Well, I mean, but up until then, it must feel like you're, maybe stealing a car.
Well, that's what I usually do. I usually just walk out to like the where they pick up passengers on the side, and I just get in somebody's car while they're like loading baggage in the trunk and drive off.
I'm not going to be a dick, but if I were a heroin mule and I were to plan it, I could get on the free shuttle to the Dollar. I could put it in the back of your car while you're getting your
Futzing
bag
around, yeah.
And then I could just follow you to whatever part of the city I wanted to pick up my heroin at, and I'd be scot-free.
Seems a lot of work for a heroin guy.
I'm just saying. It sure beats having it in your car. I'd rather, remember the old joke, I'd rather rob you at the Radisson than at my house.
I don't know that old joke.
Oh, yeah.
Do it at the DoubleTree because you get a warm
It's
cookie.
a DoubleTree joke.
So, John, what's the goal for LA?
Well, all my family lives down there, and I'm just taking Stephanie down because she's been down there once, and it was years ago, and so she's going to meet my family, and we're just going to hang out and get out of Alaska for a little while.
And that's what town?
Well, my family we'll be in Whittier a lot, actually, and then
All right.
Manhattan Beach. Just kind of driving around a lot.
So you'll go to do Venice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, we're going to try to do as much touristy things as we can.
Well, if I can offer a suggestion,
Sure.
there is. I know that you enjoy the Spaghetti Factory.
I do enjoy the Spaghetti
one in
Factory.
Fullerton. I'm pretty sure you'll probably go there. And
Fullerton is my factory of choice.
yes, and that's right by the train station.
Sure.
In Yorba Linda, there's the original Pancake House, if I might suggest, and go off hours. Don't go early, because it's packed in the morning.
The original Pancake House.
Well, now see, it is the original Pancake House, not to be confused with Original Pancake House.
Okay.
That's not confusing.
It is a huge mistake to think that they are interchangeable, because the original Pancake House has a guy with a big cast iron skillet and like a cartoony guy flipping a pancake, and Original Pancake House has a cartoony guy with a big cast iron skillet flipping a pancake.
I can see where the confusion could come in.
and how you can tell them apart. The word "the" is the only. That's it. I've been passing them off and on as we've been traveling on this tour on the East Coast and in the South, and every time I'd see one, I go, "Oh man!" Because I remember in Yorba Linda, they had the thin and chewy pancakes, and that is you. That's what I'm looking. I'm not looking for a crepe. I'm not looking for a Dutch baby. I'm not looking for a Swedish pancake.
Nobody's ever looking for a Dutch baby.
Exactly. Oh, those are pretty delicious too.
Oh, Dutch
A
babies
little
are
syrup, yeah.
fantastic.
Squeeze a little lemon on that. So, I'm looking for the thin and chewy. Well, I found one in Birmingham, but we got so drunk the night before I could not wake up in time before we had to leave to go run over there. And no one else is giving me any attention on this. Like, no, yeah, let's all go down. No. So I know I'm on my own. Well, Tracy just joined up with us in Dallas here, and right down the street is the original Pancake House, and we went down there today, and there's no such thing as thin and chewy.
Do you order it as a thin and chewy? Because I got a feeling when they call it back to the kitchen, they go, another Mexican with AIDS.
Well, I guess I would have had a better chance yelling, "I need a Mexican with AIDS," than thin and chewy, because they had no idea. And it's like, but there is another business called Original Pancake House. Maybe that's where I saw the thin and chewy. Or maybe someone else has come in and asked the waitress this. No, I got nothing. She's looking at me like a Swedish pancake. I'm like, no. She goes, we can make it well done. I go, what? Well done?
Well done. You want us to burn it? We'll burn it.
What do you?
Cajun.
This isn't a steak. Well done pancake?
Medium
That's
rare.
called a cookie. That's a cookie, right? So, I guess thin and chewy is
Maybe
the old name. But I saw the menu in Birmingham, and it said thin and chewy. So I thought, now I find the distinction between the Original Pancake House and Original Pancake House and whatever. And then I just go, I'm going to get this one, and it's the 49er. It doesn't tell you, it just says a mother load of flavor or whatever, right?
So it's like a sourdough?
I guess. I don't know. And it came, and it was the thin and chewy. But I don't even know if this was the original place that I got it. Where maybe it was a dream in Birmingham that I saw thin and chewy on a pancake.
So I'm confused,
You had a
Greg.
dream in Birmingham? Not the same dream.
The only dream ever in Birmingham, and I made it out.
I see a world where we all have thin and chewy.
Every man, no matter his race, creed, or religion, can have a thin and chewy. So I'm confused. Which am I looking for? The Original Pancake House or Original Pancake House?
I don't know.
But I should just go to Yorba Linda and find a pancake
In
house.
Yorba Linda, yeah, there's a pancake house. As long as you if you go late afternoon, it's better. I just didn't know if you'd ever heard of that out there.
I haven't.
What's your Belinda like?
That's out in the suburbs. It's kind of overbuilt now. It's heading out towards Brea. Away from LA, towards Ventura, not Ventura, towards Riverside County.
Yeah, I've always wanted to go there. That's where the Nixon Library is.
Yes.
But it's one of the faster growing places in the country.
Nixon Library. That's on our list of things to see.
Is it?
It could be.
Are they books that belong to him, or is it just a library?
No, it's a library, and there's
like-
a big controversy now on because they're trying to clean up his image.
It's like library/museum, right? Isn't that what the presidential libraries are?
Yeah,
I've never been to one, so I don't even know.
Neither.
Yeah,
Well, John, I'm looking forward to this report.
I can't wait to tell you guys about it.
Did you see in the paper? I don't know if it was news anywhere else, but out here, they're moving the 747 that piggybacked the space shuttle from Houston or sometimes in California. It piggybacked it all the way back to Cape Canaveral in Florida. They disassembled the hanging out parts, the tall and the wide parts on the 747, and they're moving it 6 miles down the street from where it was. I don't know where it was at before, but then to its final destination.
with a scrapyard in India. I mean, why are they moving it? I don't get what the guy who helped is getting his own museum.
Are they going to convert it to a hip hostel?
The thing is that piggyback thing, that was all PR. They could have landed that thing anywhere, and they did it in California because it made more news to land somewhere and then to move. And then every time they piggyback it up, they had breaking news. It's taking off again and going across the country.
Well, I read a thing where, they said they used to land the space shuttle so it'd land during primetime news. They go, well, we could have brought it at 11 at night, but who would do that?
And they land planes in Florida last time I checked. I mean, that's all they're doing. The thing's gliding down.
When I grow up, I want to be a private astronaut for a sub company.
That's what they're doing now. We don't even have a way to get up to the space station.
Are they going to have a Toyota pull it down the street just like a truck and make it a commercial again?
They're going to do that strongman competition. They're just going to pull it with their teeth. Back. That's why it's going so slow.
They're going to have, what do you call it? What is it? The Tesla drive it down the street. Then they got to recharge it halfway down the street.
So they're going 6 miles. It's going to take them 2 days. They're just basically inching along. And then as they get to like utility lines or something, there's like a whole crew of people that are like lifting up the wires. I don't know what they're doing, but they're moving it so that they can get through to a certain area. And it just seems
insane.
A lot of fucking work.
Well, everybody loves not being able to get around their town for 2 days because of a plane.
It's a parade.
It's the slowest, most boring parade ever.
Yeah,
ever.
one huge float.
Mm-hmm. Just get all the old people and pack them on the streets. Yay, waving flags. It's America. We're disassembled and moving 6 blocks.
Creating jobs.
And it's like, it's not 60 miles. You could probably see the old place from the new place.
Yeah, but obviously, they're paying too high rent. They're like,
I guess, yeah.
There's a reason they're doing this. They're not doing it just because they want to move it 6 blocks.
We left Shreveport, Louisiana to come finally start heading west, and we had to leave on the day that all those storms were building up, coming in from the Gulf, and we kept getting reports from Bingo's sister because she's a meteorologist, and she was telling us, "Oh, you should probably leave the night after the gig." And I'm like, "I'm not fucking getting in a van and driving just for 3 hours." Just because there might be a tornado. I lived in Florida for 3 years, and everyone always fucking freaked out in Tampa. And we never. First 2 years, I bought plywood and formula milk and all the bread we could carry. Freaked out, and then after all that went bad, and we never did anything with the plywood for 2 years. I just stopped.
No, lottery winners get hit by tornadoes.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
I just stopped. I stopped even caring about it. It's like, hey, you've lived here your whole life. When was the last time there was a tornado in Tampa? Oh, there's never been one here. What the fuck?
Well, even if there is one, it's still Tampa. I mean, you got to be it's got to come after you. I always said, if I get killed by a tornado, I realize I did something egregious and God said, here, I got this. It's true.
Well, as it turns out, we waited till the morning, took off a little earlier than usual, and didn't get a drop of rain all the way to
So
Dallas.
Officially, weather people are still 100% accurate.
I don't know. And we actually had a really sunny day when we got into town. It was beautiful. And then
completely the opposite of what you said. It sounds like.
yeah. And then it was like, wow, you guys just missed it. No, I think we didn't really even try. We just got on the road and went. There was no real effort on our part other than hit the accelerator.
See, it's too bad you didn't have one of those arrows through the head things. You could have put it in your head and went, oh my God, the tornado shot an arrow through Bingo's head. Thank God we left.
But then after we got through all that, was it 29 dead? It was insane. It hit hard right after we got through all of it.
I know, but the weekend before they had 28 dead with no tornado. They always gussy up the numbers. They go, "Oh, he died." I go, "Yeah, he died of a heart attack."
And crime actually takes a big drop when a tornado's coming through. So
Huge drop. Because you can't. There's no breaking and entering. It's just entering.
Absolutely.
It's easy to get in with no windows.
Yeah, where'd that TV go? It blew away. So, how about that execution that kind of didn't work, but worked great?
I can't tell if it didn't work. They were like, "Oh, we botched it," but he died.
Yeah, he died of a heart attack.
But, I mean, isn't that what happens anyway?
No, but they're saying, "Oh, that's cruel." The guy burned people to death. That was his crime. I go, you know what? I'm over this. Why don't we just get a car crusher and smash them? It's drug-free. It's 100% effective. Nobody gets out of a third of an inch alive.
He buried a 19-year-old girl alive. And it's kind of ironic that the chemicals didn't work the way they were supposed to. So he died slower and more cognizant of what was happening. Kind of like what he did to the girl, right?
Oh, wow. That's ironic that he would die the same way.
Yeah. And now they're talking just the shit that's on the TV. They're talking about some states bringing back the firing squad.
Why not? They're already
don't know.
doing it outside the prison. Why not do it inside? What are you afraid it's going to ricochet off the walls?
Do all the guys now? I don't know much about the firing squad, but I remember sometimes in movies, which is what I base most of my knowledge of history on, Hollywood depictions. Doesn't like only one of the guys get a bullet and everyone else has firing blanks?
Supposedly, yeah, it's 1 in 5, and there's 2. I think 2 live bullets and then 3 dead. So that way nobody gets the guilt of thinking they might have done it, except for the guy who goes, "I got the real one." I can tell.
Shouldn't there be more than one bullet?
Leg shot. I knew I was real. Mulligan.
Shouldn't he starts laughing? Come on, guys. I'm standing here.
4 of the rifles, when they fire, just like a little flag comes out that says "POW," like in Batman.
But I would think it'd be probably better if I don't know, man. I think you'd have a lot more bullets, so like everyone could, aim for the same spot and just like obliterate him, right?
Well, they've exonerated so many people. I say, here's the deal, because now they're going 1 in 25 people on death row are innocent. I go, well, you've already been left on death row longer than we can let you out now, so we should just kill you too. But I mean, I get it, but the point is we have people that are on tape, like the guy down in Florida that was on tape killing that little girl. Just these people should just be eliminated. I don't understand.
Well, that's one stance.
No, I mean, why are we housing the rest of their life? We know he did it. He's not he's not denying it. 6 hours later, they found him. He left with her. She ends up dead. Just kill him. Kill him right now. In the old days, they killed you a year from your sentencing date. This 13 years is setting you on death row to have a college kid look into your DNA. I want to meet the girl when they get the one where she's all fluffy haired and thinks she's saving the world. And she goes and he goes, "Yeah, you're accused of 36 rapes and I know you didn't do it." And it turns out he did every one of them. And she's like, "Oh, shit. Your DNA matched."
I think what they're talking about is those people that definitely did not do it, and they're finding out through DNA or finding out that people just lied. I mean, there's still people that are in jail from being convicted of crimes in the 60s in the South.
Right.
I mean, I think that's what they're concerned with. It's not the person that is wrong or that's in jail and going to get killed.
Right.
Eventually through corporal punishment. They're worried about the person that is totally innocent and them trying to figure out how to get them out of. Even if they know that they didn't do it after all that, there's still a process that they have to go through because that's the justice system. It's set up that way. If they find you guilty, then you're guilty until they figure out a way around that.
Right, and I do, and there needs to be an appeal process. But why can't we just do it on a regular level, where you don't wait on some college kid who was probably born the year you committed your crime to finally look into it? Why can't we give you a 2-year appeal process with the best legal minds in the world, and then if you fail that, you're dead? I
think the other thing is even the guys that do say they're guilty, they don't like lead them out into the yard and fire up the firing squad. It takes years for them, even when they admit to it, that they're guilty, for them to go through the process of being on death row right?
No, I mean, yeah, and I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't like. Yes, you're guilty. He agrees you're guilty. The jury finds him guilty. They don't lead him out back and give him a fried chicken dinner and banana cream pie.
The one thing, that's the one thing is when they got rid of the last meal, because I never understood either. Like when they'd always have like, this is what Wayne Gacy wanted in his last meal. I go, why are we treating them like they did something good? I think we should give you your last meal and then take it away right at the last second.
It's kind of like what you'd want on your birthday, right?
No, why? Yeah, why are we treating you like you are a benefit to society? Why should you get double dip ice cream and a Diet Coke? Fuck you.
It should be sardines and Coke Zero. Oh, really?
Pilot bread, no water.
That's what I grew up eating in a village. I think it's to show that we are better than them. It's like, you're a terrible, terrible person, but we'll give you some lobster.
No, and that's the problem. It's always been the whole thing is once you add humanity to an execution, then it gets all screwy.
Yeah, then it gets all weird.
Well, how many family members did you want to attend? Fuck you. Your family was the last person that fucking helped you out in this whole mess. Either caused it or didn't stop you. They should be with you. Kill the whole family. I've been watching a lot of like that Game of Thrones and stuff, and I'm starting to understand it. You think we're medieval? Look at what they did back then.
When it was called medieval.
Well, I mean, but the thing was, put you on the rack and stretch you out a little bit just to hear what you think.
You don't see us feeding people to dragons, and that's one step we've made.
I almost wish they didn't do the dragon thing. What's wrong? Why do you have to dummy up history just for kids? I'm watching
Is that show for kids?
It is now.
I've never seen it.
Oh, it's got rape and dragons. Come on.
Oh, it is for kids. It's like SpongeBob.
Yeah, that's like rap videos.
I don't know if I've ever seen a dragon or a rape in a rap video. I think the rapes happen after the video is shot.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
But you know it's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Don't be a spoiler alert.
So you're going to LA.
I'm going to LA. I'm going to be there the 18th through that whole week. And I know another local comedian, Tyler Payment, is going to be there the same time. So I think me and him plan on trying to hit some open mics.
Now, you've done this before, right?
It's the worst.
No, in LA. You went down that one time.
Last year I did an open mic there, and it was terrible. And it will probably be the same.
Do you feel better prepared on what to expect?
Yeah, I definitely don't feel like I was walking into it, I was a little nervous, like, oh, I gotta bring my A game, but now I know I can bring my C game and fit right in.
Yeah, just drink. Just bring a little cash.
Yeah.
Clayton Dale, Becker, you remember Clayton, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he's now in Minneapolis, and he posted on AK Comics on Facebook a picture of the sign-up sheet for Acme Comedy Club in Minneapolis. And there was no fewer than 45 people signed up.
Yeah, I think he was number like 43.
Yeah, right after Ben-Hur. And I'm like, are people just putting fucking names and then walking out the door? Like, fuck this. Here's Felix the cat. But he
said it was a raffle, right? He said
there's a lottery. They just picked like I think 15 names out of that. I'm like, what a fucking shit way to try and get people to hang out,
Yeah.
Because maybe that's just the way it
do it
works.
randomly though. They do it randomly.
Yeah, they pick.
So like the first guy, and then we go to 15. So no matter what, you can't leave because you might come up.
I guess that's it. Yeah.
But I like that better because the one I did in LA, there was like 30 people, and they just kind of everybody was going to go, but they would do a lottery for when you were going to go.
Yeah.
So I went near the end, and by the time I went, everybody had left.
Yeah.
Because they were like, "Well,
you're basically doing your set in front of the people you came with, who have already seen you do your jokes."
So I like the idea of like everybody don't leave because there's a chance that you will get picked, and the farther the more time goes by, the higher your chance of getting picked because there's less people.
I guess so. Yeah. Well, that makes sense. And 45 people. That's a lot to have only like 15 people go up and waiting for that. To pick those numbers.
That is a lot of people.
Becker, you got any tips in LA for young John here?
Yes. What he needs to do, he needs to go to the 3rd Street Promenade.
Santa Monica?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We did that the last night. That was a blast.
That's that's an outdoor kind of California style outdoor mall.
Yeah, and we had a blast. It was good. Everything was festive, and we went on the roller coaster. Go right at dusk, and then you get the nighttime light show from the amusement park.
That's a good one. I'd also say if you're going to do anything in LA, lunchtime downtown in Alvaro Street.
Sure.
That's fun. You're a fan of the street cart tacos, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And be careful on parking, as always.
Yes.
We almost parked again on the wrong side, and it's like, oh, this lady. I'm going, oh, there's a spot, but there's 3 other cars around you, so you think it must be safe.
Yeah.
And this lady across the street, she's parking. She goes, points at the sign, goes, no, no, no. I'm like, oh shit, we're 20 minutes away from being towed. Tow trucks are right around the corner waiting.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, and we were down there for Passover. That was interesting. So we hung out with a lot of Hasidic. I don't know what those big fur hats are, but they got the big. It looks like a box cake, but it's fur.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
the curly sideburns.
Yeah, but we got a lot of pictures with them, so it's good.
There's an area down there, I think it's near the Diamond Mart. It just is where there's a lot of Hasidic Jews that walk down the street, and they are.
Oh.
I mean, it's like the turn of the century. I mean, the way they dress and stuff like that.
I've been down there. That's all the like jewelry district.
Yeah,
And
but like you turn off of like Hollywood Boulevard or Sunset, where it's street rats, skateboarders, and rockers, and then you come down here, and it's like, what the fuck time portal did I just go through? It might as well be buggies and horses on the road. But it's a little shocking at first. You wonder where the hell you are. But yeah, there's a whole district down there. Hey John, I don't know. Are you looking in the market for a diamond?
I might be. I don't know. I mean, if I get a good deal, I'm not going to pass up a good deal.
Well, they'll always tell you they're giving you a good deal.
This year, remember last year I went and I got all these cool stuff, but Hawaiian shirts were insane. They were like $180.
Like vintage?
Because all the little hipsters were buying them, I guess.
Yeah.
So this year, I start scoring Hawaiian shirts right off. I'm like, this is great. They're originals. They're the polyester blends, so they're not really great for warm weather, but they're great for Alaska.
Yeah.
But they're all the originals, and they're like $7. I'm like, are you kidding me? I go, I guess that trend's over. But everything cool else in my size was either small or extra large, and there was nothing in between. And I think it's those goddamn craft beers that fattened up all the little kids.
Yep.
And all the cool stuff's gone now. Military jackets, sorry.
That's what happens. I actually already have a list of all of the beer stops I'm going to make. I'm gonna gain like 20 pounds while I'm there.
Oh, you might want to try Barney's Beanery too.
Oh, and IKEA. Make sure you go to IKEA.
Got to go to IKEA.
Yeah, IKEA. I saw pictures, Becker. You were down there with Becker.
We love IKEA. IKEA's got the weirdest shit.
I think the closest one to you now is
Burbank.
Yeah, but I was thinking the closest one to Alaska is probably Seattle.
Yeah.
Well, that's too far.
And they don't ship to Alaska.
No, to tell you the truth, with IKEA one time, we spent. They charge you $12 for the catalog. Becky ordered it online. They sent her an email back going, "We don't have a store in your area, so we won't send it to you." They wouldn't charge us $12 to send us the catalog.
What a bunch of jerks.
Yeah, I know. A bunch of co-op sons of bitches. Kumbaya.
Fucking Nazi sympathizers.
But isn't that funny? They wouldn't do it. So then we had Kim was down in Seattle. She brought one back, and we had it. And then the next year we had Kim bring one back when she was down there. And Becky goes, "We don't need the old one hanging around." So she throws it in the fire pit. Half hour later, Becky goes, "Oh, son of a bitch. I just threw the new catalog in the fire." I was like, that's why I'm not a hoarder. I'm a collector.
IKEA has their ways. They got you to get rid of the catalog.
No, but now you can get it online, so screw them.
So what were you looking for at IKEA?
We get all kinds of weird stuff. We got like new lighting for the shop, like the track lighting where it's on the wire cables.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? Or
Yeah.
you get it, and then you can get stuff that runs on it. Like you can get he's a little trapeze guy, and you set him on because they're just low current wires that run across the ceiling.
It's basically two wires that run parallel, kind of like telephone wires, and then you set a kind of an arm across those two wires that has a light in the middle of
It's
it.
like a cable car.
It completes the circuit, and then it turns the light on.
Mm-hmm. But you
Yeah.
can get
If you
other
touch-
things.
If you
can
touch
get a
both
little
of the
monkey
wires,
that-
do you get a little shock?
You'll get a little tingle, 12 volts, shooting 3 there.
All right.
But But the thing is they sell the other stuff where you can hang like this little monkey that swings, and he swings all the way across your living room and goes back and forth all night long.
So it's not really a lighting fixture for Becker. It's a monkey apparatus.
No,
It's a
it's lighting.
robot circus.
It's lighting for Becky, and it's everything else for me.
It's a win-win.
Yeah, and it's great though. But yeah,
Is
so
this-
that kind of thing. You just, you can find it, I guess, but why not just go buy it at IKEA
Yeah.
and pay 13%
Definitely-
tax?
Definitely on the list. Now that one of us is blacks, we'll probably check out a Clippers game.
Oh yeah.
What do you think? Do you think they're going to take it? That'd be
Take the
ultimate
franchise or
FU.
the game?
Well, either one. Do you think? I mean,
Who's going to
would
take
that-
what? What are you saying?
Wouldn't that be the ultimate fu that now that Don Sterling can't even go to an NBA game, his Clippers end up making it all the way?
Oh yeah.
No. I mean, I wouldn't sell if I was him. Here's the
There's
deal.
no way he's going to sell.
He's 85. He's a real estate mogul. He goes, I'm not having a fire sale. Screw you.
Well, I mean, but
It won't even be a fire sale.
but if he sold, it would be a pretty good time to sell.
yes,
He bought it at like 12 million. And now they're a, championship in the run team.
contenders,
So it would
contenders, yeah.
It would be, hundreds, if not, closer to $1 billion. I don't know how much basketball teams go for, but it would be quite the resale.
Well, one of the groups trying to buy it is Floyd Merriweather is part of the group. And isn't he the one who pistol whipped his wife or something?
Oh, well, sure.
Well, it's good we got the racial thing out of the way.
Magic Johnson. I think this maybe was all just a big, ploy by Magic Johnson. I don't know.
That's a great Lifetime movie. No, I mean that he set the whole thing up.
There's nothing he can't do.
Wow. Yeah, that's true. He's done about everything you could do.
He beat HIV. Now he's just stealing basketball teams.
Now he's good at, yeah.
After 2.5 days of nothing but Don Sterling, I'm almost missing the Malaysian Flight 370.
Oh yeah.
coverage on CNN.
I know. Do you realize if he'd have been on that plane, there'd be 2 less stories?
I love that since Malaysian Air Flight 370, every news story there's got to be like a conspiracy side to it. Like, is it his voice? I don't know. We're having experts right now. They're analyzing it. It's like said it was.
That was my favorite because the players are like, it's still their boss. And they're like, well, no one's confirmed it's him or not. I go, really? You've never met him, have you? You've never even met him. He goes, he gives me $1 million a year. Fuck you. I ain't saying shit.
He's all right guy in my book.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where like old people getting taken advantage because they don't understand technology.
No, but that's
She clearly had the phone sitting on the table. They're both equidistant from it because you can hear their voices like they're almost sitting over the phone.
I thought they were on the phone.
It sounded like it was to me. It sounded like it was recorded, like they were in the same room, and she just hit record on her iPhone or whatever.
I don't know because he was saying, well, just where are you at? Where are you at? So how would he say where you at?
She
If
might
they're
have been
in the same-
recording of speaker.
So my point is if she's recording it and they're not on the phone, isn't that wiretap? You have to notify the other person on the other end. California.
Well, I mean, he's not like
can't.
going to jail or anything.
No, she is.
In California, both parties have to consent to being recorded if it was over the phone. And it was
That's
a
what
phone
I'm saying.
conversation. I just thought, yeah, it must have been like she had him on speaker and then she was recording somewhere in the room because it definitely sounds like she's on speakerphone too.
Right, but the point is if she recorded it over a phone line, or even, what people aren't getting is if you record it on a phone, the way the law is written, you're just hitting memo record. It's a phone that's recording it, and that's actually violates the wire.
But I think suing her
It's not suing. It's
outing
it's
him as a
crime.
racist.
No, it's a
would-
crime. It's not a suing thing. It's a criminal.
Well, pressing charges would make him look worse, I think. And I don't think
It
he's.
wouldn't be him pressing charges. Why is the LAPD charging her with illegally wiretapping?
She can get in trouble for that, but none of
But
that.
you can prove
none
the
of that will
crime.
change anything that's happened to.
Well,
to
it
him.
won't change that. But that was always my argument with when what's his name, Kramer from Seinfeld,
Michael
Richards. Remember, he was at the Laugh
Mm-hmm.
Factory, and they have clearly posted signs. There is no recording or video of anything of this show.
Absolutely.
And they recorded it. I would have sued, and you granted what he did was, he was It was sophomoric at best. But I would have sued the couple that recorded and released it, saying, no, you violated the rule of recording and
Illegally recorded.
yeah, and you hurt my career by this amount. So that's a good civil suit. All you got to do is 51% accurate, and you can prove it hurt him.
He certainly
As
did.
now he's mowing his own yard and has his own security guard. Mhm.
Well, I don't know what's happening to her. I did see a picture of her like from TMZ leaving her condo or
With
whatever.
that visor
jumping
on.
into
That
her
was
car.
a cool visor.
With that fucking, it looks like a welder's visor or something. Yeah, it was great. You did all this, and now I mean, it's not like you don't know what she looks like.
I watch news for different things than other people. I go, where'd she get that visor?
Amazon search.
It's always funny when they do that, though. Like, I want my privacy. It was like, really? Then why'd you go public? Why are you hounding me? Because you released a tape of a guy, a billionaire. Didn't he sound like a... This is typical, though. No matter who you are, no matter how much you're worth, he's 85 and he's talking to a lady that normally has a stripper pole in between him and her. And he just sounds like just a 10-year-old kid who doesn't know what he's doing. Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this? It was like, you're a fucking billionaire, you jackass. Get a hooker.
Get 20.
Well, no, I mean, I think in retrospect, he might have considered it. I think she really likes me. Yeah, she likes you.
Yeah, I don't know what's going
That's
on.
what happens when you try to save a buck.
Yeah.
And then the Korean ferry that flipped.
Yeah.
That was a classic. The slow turning ferry that they just never kind of go and get. It was like Katrina. It just took 3 days and they finally all died.
It seems like every year or so there's a huge tragedy that comes out of either China or India with these ferries. Because, I mean, a lot of people rely on these to get back and forth from these islands and from one big city metropolis to another or something. But they overload these motherfuckers so much. And this one is a little bit different. I think there was actually some extra construction done to this thing after it was originally built, and it might have been top heavy. But I don't think I'd ever get on a fucking ferry. Not one where people are hanging off the rails. I don't know if you've seen those. They do that with trains sometimes in India, where it's like so packed, and it's like this is. I mean, I know we got a lot of rules in America.
No,
some of them are good.
That's
Some
exactly
of them are good.
what I try to explain to people. I go, you always act like, oh, America's all overregulated. I go, yeah, until you flip on a ferry in a third world country and they go, you're on your own,
and
dude.
they tell you to stay put.
Where's the life rafts?
Try commuting around Bangkok for a day and then get mad about the street laws here.
Well, think of that, John, when
Yeah.
you're in traffic on the 405 in L.A.
I will. I will be mad. I will be cursing the transportation system.
Oh, that's the one thing in LA this time, though. The billboards were not. I didn't see any clever billboards. They were all just really generic and stupid.
Is that something you look for usually?
What's that? Well, yeah, no, the billboard. Usually you go to LA, you see these cool billboards. Like at least they got one that's cool, like an abortion or something. And this year it was nothing. And you know what? Everywhere was slapped that. What is that made for? Who's made the show? It's got the guy. He talks to ghosts or something.
Who?
I don't know. He's like a slacker looking kid. Anyway, it was who made the show? I'm trying to think who made it. Somebody. It's one of those
Not
ones.
John
like-
Edwards. the
No,
guy-
like a Netflix.
Crossing over.
No. It's a comedy, but he's
Oh,
something.
Silicon Valley.
I don't know what, but anyway, he's a fat kid.
The mic. Oh,
I was gonna write it down, but I said, how could I forget it? It was drilled in my head every turn.
Silicon Valley is the new Mike Judge.
yeah. Which I watched the first episode. It's good.
No, this isn't Silicon Valley. This is the one with the something ghost or something. I don't know what the fuck. But anyway, it's made by one of the, like, say a Google. We'll just say that.
Oh, is
It's
it
not, but-
is it like a Netflix production or a
Yeah, it's one of the little things, but
Hulu?
What? Hulu. Yeah, maybe it's the Hulu original. Whatever that is, with the kid in the ball cap and something. Anyway, it was everywhere. I mean, park benches, everything. And it was like, great. They spent all the money they would have spent producing it for a TV station. They spent it on ads on LA.
and it still didn't work. You don't know the name of it.
No, I hated it. By the end, I was like, I wanted Banksy all his work.
Oh, I just Googled it. Is it Deadbeat?
Yes, there it is. Deadbeat.
Deadbeat is the show you don't want to miss.
So it turns out if you really want to know, don't look at all the advertising, the multi-million-dollar ad campaign. Just email John Norris.
I'm a sleuth.
Yeah, John,
You
if
know,
you could take every time you see one, will you take a picture of it for me?
Look at these. I'm a digital native. I can find out anything.
So what about Deadbeat? You're just
I didn't even know what the show was.
Sick
They
of
give
it.
you a vague idea of it, but it literally was on the side of every fucking building, every bus, the back of personal cars. They had stickers on them. I'm like, what did they do?
that reminds me when that one movie came out, Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was everywhere in LA. And I can't remember why I was down there. I don't remember when it was. But every billboard, everywhere you looked, it said, is that the name of it, John? Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was everywhere. And it seems so much so that the movie has to suck. Like, there's just way too much. Like, there's got to be some kind of, like, word of mouth that doesn't have to be plastered on a billboard and a bus bench and...
Right. When you see that kind of over the top, you're going, I get it if it's a major movie, whatever. But it's a TV show, and you've already pissed me off to the point I would never. People go, that was great. I go, I'll wait until it's out for 3 years, and then I'll watch it.
Well, it's not even a TV show. It's a, online TV show. Well, so what kind of garbage is that? It's no House of Cards, I can tell you.
Yeah, no, that's exactly. I was just going to say, you mean like House of Cards? No, that's a great new way to do it, though, is that they're making their own shows. It takes away all the censorship, everything else. And I think it's the wave of the future. I think TV has got to go away.
Well,
I don't want to see
if
it.
this thing with Arrow gets through the Supreme Court in Arrow's favor, that's really going to change the way TV is broadcast. Because they've got, do you know what that is?
Yes, I do.
John, you know what we're talking about?
Yes, I do.
So for any of the three other people that listen to this podcast, it's that little, it's a little tiny device as small as a dime that will pick up, like through the service, through Arrow, you can pick up local stations. And they're being sued by the TV companies, the distributors, saying that that's infringes on copyright law, which they've got a pretty good case that it doesn't, because it's basically just enabling you to do what you used to be able to do with a VCR and a pair of rabbit ears on your.
Mm-hmm.
So if Arrow goes through, it's gonna. I mean, it's already changing for those of us who are looking for alternative ways to get.
Get rid of cable companies?
Yeah, to get rid of content, because cord cutters.
I'd like to be in Anchorage where we have one to choose from, and if you like it, great. If you don't, beat it.
So yeah, it's going to change, and then it's going to change for Anchorage too. So,
well, it won't change Anchorage, because here's the deal: Arrow charges a fee to you, so I would actually be paying for the free channels I now watch.
yeah, but you would actually be given.
But you can also record them. So there's also like a kind of like a DVR aspect to it, where you can like save it for later and watch it later.
It's interesting that this seems to be just rehashing old territory that the TV stations used to have, or the distributors used to have with VCR manufacturers and stuff like that. And that's water under the bridge. But it seems like we're treading over that same territory. And yet this wouldn't be an issue if Arrow wasn't a good idea. You know what I mean? If the TV companies and the way that they force you to buy things in certain bundles, if that wasn't such a pain in the ass for the consumer, there would not be an Arrow. There's alternatives, because people are sick and tired of being
the
forced.
bundling should have been taken out back in the 90s when they first brought it up, but they've continued it because the cable companies have such strong lobbies. But the way bundling works, you wouldn't have a 700 Club or any of the Christian Broadcasting Network. They get bundled with ESPN and shit, so you can't get rid of them. So they're making fucking $500 million a year with a shit show, and I'm supporting it somehow. I go, no, do a la carte, like the fucking Congress has brought up 5 times and never can get it done.
Well, we'll see. That's one to watch.
Well, so now with the power of the internet, we can get rid of cable companies. But the problem is cable companies control most of the internet.
But also net neutrality. Once I get rid of that, you can go to all net TV watching, and then I can raise your rates to where you're paying more than cable was.
Oh, you want to watch Netflix? That's going to be an extra $60 a month.
Exactly. So I'm screwing you exactly where you were. That's up here. We were going to go with Dish Network.
Books. Let's go back to books.
You know what? But books are expensive now. And where do you put them? They stopped making shelves. They don't. I can hang my TV off the wall, but I can't find a good bookshelf for shit.
Becker knows. He was just in IKEA, not one fucking bookshelf.
No bookshelves.
I was taking 2 end tables and seeing if I could stack them and put books in it. The guy goes, "What you building?" I go, "I don't know. I'm just trying to finish what you started."
Because if that's a shelf, we can't sell it to you.
No, I can have a hanging light with a monkey flying across it. Have you seen that where you take a book and it's a book, it goes inside the spine of the book and then it hangs there, and then you can stack your books on top of the books, so it looks like your books are just hanging on the wall.
What?
The invisible bookshelf?
Yeah, it's the invisible bookshelf. You know of it. But what's really funny about it is you now have to take all the books down to get one book out.
It's what that bottom
It's
one.
clever looking, but it doesn't work.
Well, it'll work for you because you're not going to read anyway. So
No,
let's
I
put
just
all the
get them
books
for
up.
fashion.
Yeah.
You mean those fire starters and leg stabilizers? All right. This concludes another episode of Near the Wild, where springtime is starting to spring in Anchorage, Alaska.
It smells like shit everywhere.
Does
It's
it?
been nice. It's been really nice.
Why?
Because the dog sled teams all winter run on the snow.
No one picks up.
Dead leaves, dead bodies, all that.
Ugh.
Beautiful time of
It's
year.
a mold festival right now. My head is so congested. I'm using a Dremel tool instead of a Kleenex.
Do the natty pot.
Oh, yeah.
It's working great.
Use distilled water.
Yes. I got to get on the road.
All right.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
You've been listening to the Near the Wild podcast with Matt Becker and John Norris, recorded in Anchorage, Alaska on Matt Becker's backyard bus. Engineered by me, Greg Chaille.
We got a guest. We got a guest on the show today.
Yes. Guest
So
today.
very
Cyril.
angry about something.